I had just started my little press, and I thought, well, good for her. You know, somebody's going to snatch that thing up, because what a story this is. And a year or so later, I ran into Dahlia at one of the Winston-Salem Writers functions, and I introduced myself, and I said, how's it going with the memoir? And she goes, well, I'm not getting much activity on it, and nobody seems interested. And I thought, well, that's kind of strange. So then I ran into her again. She said, would you like to take a look at my memoir? And I said, well, send me the first 3 or 4 chapters. So she did. And I read them, and I told my wife, I said, either this woman has led the most amazing life of anybody on the planet, or she's got an imagination.
Maybe both.
And he's somebody.
And so I called Dahlia, and I said, I'd like to read the rest of your manuscript. So she sent it to me, and I got it in insured mail in this priority box. It had duct tape wrapped all around it, and insured, and all this, and I think it cost her $400 to send it to me. But I opened this thing up, and inside was her manuscript, and with it was a scrapbook of newspaper clippings and photographs and contracts and all these things. And it reminded me of this movie I'd seen years ago where Keith Carradine played this guy who was always telling these wild tales at the bar, and people are like, oh yeah, get out of here. And at the end of the movie, you find out that everything he said was true. And I kind of felt like that she had just opened this up. So when I read her manuscript, and I said, I can't believe nobody's grabbed it. She goes, well, you know, the rejections I got were, we're not interested in your novel. I thought, she goes, you know, maybe I should have sent the newspaper clippings along with the manuscript. Maybe they would have known it wasn't a novel, it was actually a memoir. I thought, man, this is unbelievable. So we sat down and we worked on it, and I was pointing a few things out that maybe we want to clarify this, work on that, and tell me more about this and tell me more about that. And, you know, this is because a memoir is a very tricky thing to write. It involves stepping away from your own perspective sometimes. So when it's a very solitary process. So here she is writing her life story, and then I read it, and I'm finding I want to know a little more about this, and a little more about that, and tell me more about this, and tell me more about that, and so it was back and forth, and we really got down to it. And then we decided, well, let's put some photographs from the scrapbooks in there. Let's go through that. So we just had a blast. It was a lot of fun, but we spent so much time on it because we wanted to get it right and want to do it justice, because this is her story and this is her monument. This lady has been everywhere you can imagine, done more things. And in fact, I had a young intern from Salem College who proofread this for me, and when she got done, she said, I have found my new hero. She said, one of my dreams has been to travel the world, but I've been afraid to do it, and now I'm not afraid anymore. You know, so that's what I hope will come out of this, that this will open up a door to a lot of other people to see that there is a lot more to life than what's across the street, and that fear is the one thing that we can't afford to embrace.